Hi, I'm Hannah,
Hi, I'm Cable Rizzo.
and I am interviewing Cable for my mass communications project. So, my first question is what countries did you live in growing up other than the United States?
So I lived in the United States, Germany, and Finland.
Okay, cool.
Mm.
And when you were traveling and living in different countries at a young age, how did you get your news information?
Well, when I was living in Finland, I lived in the capital city of Finland. So, in the capital city, there's a lot going on, hustling, bustling. Just like imagine Times Square with all of the advertisements up against the walls and posters and everything, and people were handing out flyers. People in Finland are very vocal and they're very nice about it, but it was really focused on the media and technology still in Finland about what they could post up on the boards. As far as that, and when I was living in Germany, I was a bit younger in my life, but what I do remember is um, it was a lot about food. Germans are a lot about food and advertising restaurants and kind of making the restaurant the theme and really authenticizing that restaurant.
Okay. And how would you compare like the getting your news like from those two to the United States? Like, do you think there's a huge difference, or do you think?
Well, there's absolutely a difference because when I was getting my news, when you flip on the news, the most recent place that I lived in Europe was Finland. And so when I were to switch on the news is in Finnish and I have no idea what they're saying. So then I have to struggle to find a channel that is displaying English news, and it's news all the same, but it often focuses on different things because within each country there are things that focus and have the priorities focus on different things as per the leaders for each country. So definitely news all around, but just different what really is being focused on, other than of course the main pandemic issues.
Okay. And how did you communicate with your family and friends back in the United States?
So we had to email and we had to pay a lot of money to use a phone. We used Vonage, which was just a phone, literally a dial-up phone to be able to contact, and we would have to wait. We would have to type in all these numbers and then hope that the time frames would match up so that both of us would be able to have a conversation with each other. But we had to pay a lot of money to talk to people overseas.
Okay, wow.
Yes,
Wow, so much
yes.
different
It
than
really it
here.
really was different than just, not picking up a cell phone and being able to call someone who is, gosh knows where, but it was really talking to someone internationally was completely different than the way that it is now.
Yeah, okay. And was the internet as accessible in these countries compared to the United States?
I would definitely say so, yes. I
Okay.
would say that I didn't experience any different thing with Wi-Fi. The only thing was, say you go to a public McDonald's here, a public restaurant that offers Wi-Fi, usually for example, in Finland where I live, that wouldn't have been offered. That would be something that is just not really, they might have it, but um, it wouldn't be pertinent for that place. So I guess that would be the main thing that I noticed, that there wasn't, free Wi-Fi advertised everywhere.
But you would have it like in your house and
Yes, of course.
okay.
People would definitely absolutely have it in their
Okay.
houses, and absolutely there was it's not the dark ages there either, as much as it seems like a different country, it's not the
Yeah.
dark ages,
Yep.
but yeah.
Okay. And how has the coronavirus situation been affecting you, especially in terms of communications and media?
As far as communication, well, I work for CACI, so as far as my communications, I had to change my passwords legally for the government every certain amount of time. So sometimes I'm not able to, during this coronavirus, I was not able to get a hold of those people to go through the programs and go through the other people to try to link to create my new password so I could even get into my system.
Okay.
But as far as communicating with my family, I mean, my family is not so good at technology. We definitely had to work together to learn how to use things like Zoom and Skype and things like that. So absolutely, and I know that I'm not the only one feeling that. So, yeah.
Okay. What about in terms of media? Have you been just seeing like do you think like all the media like that you go on is just showing like a bunch of like coronavirus.
Absolutely.
And that's
I
like
feel
a
like
lot what you see.
everything. I watch a lot of Netflix and Hulu. I mean, what else can I do? I'm binge watching, and almost every other commercial that comes on, almost every time, every episode is about the coronavirus, what to do, what not to do, the symptoms, everything. So the media now, compared to what it was even in historical times, have absolutely changed, and it will continue to change, I think, after this pandemic is over.
Okay. And the last question, do you think there's been a lot of fake news about the coronavirus? If so, what are your thoughts on fake news, and how can it affect the readers and the viewers receiving the fake news?
Do I think that there's fake news about corona? I think it comes down to the education level of people. I mean, I think there's a lot that's unknown about the coronavirus, but I think that, you know, people know the facts of a regular pandemic. This is not the first pandemic that has happened. Think of the Spanish American flu. I mean, what was the question, Grant? Can you repeat it so I can just finish it?
Do you think there's fake news about corona? Like, overall, do you think
I think there are fake news because people don't have the right knowledge. People are scared and people assume things, and I think that's where the fake news is coming from, not from the people that are working professionally and have differing opinions on things. I think that it's from the people that are genuinely uneducated, and which is the general public, because we weren't ready for this. So yes, I do.
And how do you think fake news can affect the readers or viewers, like, receiving the fake news?
I mean, that's their own biases. They can choose for their own opinions, but I think definitely people, when they see other people in a state of panic, they tend to go towards that. They gravitate towards that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess an example of this would be when Trump quote unquote suggested like injecting chlorine into, or not chlorine, sorry, Clorox into the bloodstream, and like people are actually like were thinking about doing it, and all these doctors are like no. So I think that's like a great example of how kind of fake news can
absolutely people are trying everything. I mean, think about even the Corona beer business. It has their stocks have literally plummeted, and it's just crazy because that's just a beer brand. And think about the president of the United States saying that, oh, this is the way to get rid of the coronavirus. Of course people are going to follow that fake news, and that's where it comes from. It comes from word of mouth.
Yep. All right, thank you so much, Cable, for this interview.
Of course. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.